How's it everyone, this is Lolcohol, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make your own regex. For those of you who don't know, in Path of Exile there are search boxes in all sorts of places. You have one in your stash over here, you have one at vendors over here, there's ones on your passive skill tree, and you're able to use these search boxes and manipulate them in order to show you relevant information that you might be looking for. The most common one that a lot of people use is for vendors on league start. So something like this will highlight modifiers on items that you're looking for when you are in town trying to find your next upgrade on your build. So something like that might look like this, where it is highlighting various things I want, like quarterstaves or damage on gloves or movement speed on boots. And if you want to know how to make one of these yourself, today's video will explain it. So the first thing, when it comes to search boxes, you can instantly jump to them by pressing Ctrl F, so you don't have to click straight here. And then anything you type in this search box will highlight anything that matches that. So if I'm looking for a crossbow, I can type in crossbow and that'll be highlighted. But the thing to remember is you don't need to type in the whole word. You can just type in part of it. So from this, I could say like S bow, like this. I could just type in bow, like that. And so long as this is the only thing that matches that, that's the only thing that will be highlighted. This is important to remember because there is a limit to regex. It's getting upgraded to 250 characters next league, but this league it's still only 50. So you don't have to type in the whole word like that. You just need to type in whatever matches. But if you do this, just make sure that it's not highlighting multiple things that you don't want to see. Now, the next thing with regex is you can highlight multiple things at the same time. So let's say I'm looking for crossbow, and also the modifier name adds X to Y damage to attacks. Now, if I want to do this, I can firstly do my crossbow thing. So I could even type in, let's just do full crossbow. That'll be highlighted. But now if I were to type in damage, let's say 2 attacks, now suddenly nothing really gets highlighted. If you want to add multiple things, the first thing you need to do, you want to put all your search terms within inverted commas or quotation marks like this. And then you're going to type crossbow, for example, and then you're going to separate every single search term with this vertical line. That's normally like above or next to your enter key. So we would say crossbow and damage 2 attacks. Now this gets highlighted and this gets highlighted. And now you can do this with whatever. So let's say we want movement speed on boots. So you could say movement NT SPE. So movement speed. That'll highlight anything with movement speed. And this is how you start making your own regex. You just say like, what do I want? Do I want cold resistance? So resist like that. And now suddenly this gets highlighted and you just add little things on. But now let's say I'm playing like a crossbow build, and why are all these quivers getting highlighted? This is because these are matching the adds damage to attacks. So this is correctly being highlighted, but what do I do if I don't want to see this? The good news is that you're also able to exclude things from your search. So if I put an exclamation mark and then write quiver, anything that starts with an exclamation mark is going to exclude that thing. You can also put this in quotation marks like that, and it'll exclude that from being shown. So if we look at a regex like this over here, this should hopefully make sense to you now. So we have quotation marks, and then we have staff, which is saying I want to see quarter staffs. I have at, which is 2 attacks, flat damage to attacks, NTSPE, movement speed, and then talus for talisman. And then over here, we have a separate one, which is excluding with the exclamation mark, UIV for quiver. I want to exclude quivers. So this will highlight all of those things. Quarterstaffs, like that. Damage to attacks, over here. And talismans, like that. There are no movement speed boots over here, so nothing else is getting highlighted. But this is how you create your basic campaign regex. Now, I also want to show you a couple of other things. Firstly, How do you store your regexes? A lot of people will save it over here in their social window. You can press J, and for league start, you can just keep it right over here. Other thing you can do, of course, is just to have a little notepad document where you store all your regexes like this. But another tool that's quite useful is Exiled Exchange 2. So Exiled Exchange 2 is a price checking tool. Normally you can press like Control D, and this will allow you to check prices of things. By the way, next league, we're going to have this built into the game. I think it's like Control Alt right click to instantly price check within game. Now the price check function is great, but another thing that is fantastic about Exiled Exchange is if you press, I think it's Shift Space is the default. It brings up this menu over here. I've changed mine to numpad 7. And what you can do is you can save your regexes over here. So if I want to add a new regex, I can just go add. And then let's say, here's my regex, or let's quickly get the one we had. Copy that, Control C, by the way, Control C, Control V, those work in PoE. And put it over here and say quarter staff leveling. And then save. And now if I go to a vendor, I can do this. I can press my hotkey to bring this up and just click that. And this is stored over here. So this is another really nice thing that you can do to save multiple regexes. As you get into the end game, you're going to want to create more and more specific ones, maybe for rolling maps or for searching items when buying from other players or in your own stash, and you can store them all here very nicely. There's a couple of other regex things I want to share, and then a couple of interesting search things that can help you navigate just the game in general more easily. But let's say I'm looking for a specific jewel with spell damage, like this. This is going to highlight spell damage. But I can also include, let's say, crit. So now this is highlighting anything that has spell, damage, and crit in it. But if I want to be a bit more specific, I can just separate that out. And now it's saying I only want to see something with spell damage and crit. So this one has spell damage crit. This one has spell damage and then crit. So you can get a little bit more specific with your searches over here. Now for extremely advanced regex, you can go on Reddit and read posts like this that go into tons of detail. But here's a resource that I use that is fantastic, which is PoE2.re. This helps you to highlight whatever you want. It has vendors, waystones, tablets, relics, and you can just click what do I want. I want to see physical damage, and I want to see elemental damage, cold damage. This is like a more advanced high-level regex that is able to highlight mods more specifically. You can select base types that you want like this. But the one that's probably going to be more useful is once you reach the end game and you're rolling maps, there's a lot of map modifiers that builds do not want to run, or perhaps on top of that, they're looking for maps that match a certain amount of quantity or rarity or pack size. And this is where PoE.re is really, really useful. So over here, you can select the waystone increased item quantity. So you can say like the map must have 50% or higher quantity and 50% or higher rarity. And I do not want to see XYZ modifiers. This is going to be much better next league with the 250 character limit, but this is how you create these. So if there's a modifier that you really hate or something that breaks your build, you can click it and then those will not be highlighted. And with this, you can create your perfect little regex like this. You can copy it, and then when you're back in game, you can save it in your Exiled Exchange, pull this up, add a new thing. Here's your regex, and you say like map regex. So if you want to get really advanced, you can do it like this. Or you can read this guide. I guess I can link this as well, but this is kind of Reddit post that is fantastic, but my eyes start glazing over about halfway through. The important thing to remember with regex is you can use it wherever there's a search box. So let's say I'm looking for area of effect like that, and also max life. I can do like this, and it'll highlight things that match those words. So this has the word life in it. We can look for something that has like area of effect in it. You can do it all over the place. Another great thing that some people are not aware of is that with this, let's say I want to search for mind over matter. and I need to look all over the tree, instead of doing this, you can actually just push enter and it'll jump you straight to the thing. So if you are looking for specific modifiers, like let's say minion damage and spirit, I don't even know if there's anything spirit, you can do that. And all of these get highlighted. You can press enter to just jump between them quickly like this. I hope this was helpful. Just a basic introductory guide to regex and making your own little search terms for league start. This is really useful for league start. So you're not, when you're going to vendors looking for, going through every single item, you can just have this. Everything you want will be highlighted. Just test it out before league start. Also, if you do prefer a written guide, I have one up on Mobalytics, so you can check it out over here. This just takes you through it, and I'll link the other things in the description. But that's going to be it. Getting ready for league start. Monk's looking really, really good, so I'm probably going to play that. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I also stream on YouTube, so if you prefer that, you can watch me there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you later. Stay safe, everyone. Have fun, and bye-bye.